Hey everybody, I'm Matt Hill with Knight Energy Services at the NAPE Expo in Houston, Texas for the Crude Life, and my friends in the energy sector, what they do, who they are, maybe how they got in oil and gas. Nick, please introduce yourself.
I'm Nick Vandivere. I'm the CEO of ThoughtTrace.
What is ThoughtTrace?
So at ThoughtTrace, back it up a little bit,
Yeah.
in oil and gas, in other industries, but I think especially in oil and gas, a lot of the problems that operators, non-operators, mineral buyers, midstream as well, and downstream that they deal with, a lot of these problems and challenges are around having to answer extraordinarily tough questions where the data and really the underlying information is bound up in lots of documents, lots of very unstructured, non-standard documents. And for years, when those challenges arise, and they do, the answer has been, I've got to go back to the lease, or I've got to go to the operating agreement or the assignment. And it creates these problems that take not just hours, but days and weeks to actually navigate through at tremendous cost.
And people.
Yeah, and people, to the operators themselves, and bad information that leads to kind of suboptimal decision making. So at ThoughtTrace, we built AI capabilities that will go through and read those documents much like a human does. And rather than saying, okay, I have this thing I've got to go solve for, where do I have continuous drilling obligations across my entire leasehold, rather than going through and having to read 800 or 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 leases, you simply go in and ask the question of the software. Not unlike, I get on Amazon and I want to find a pair of shoes in this size and this color, that sort of thing. The experience with ThoughtTrace is much the same. It's a much more intuitive process to search through that data and not completely remove the need for a person to have to go in and read, but to take that really big reading problem and make it a very small, much more manageable reading problem. That's what we do.
Man, that is mind-blowing. That's all everybody's talking about in our industry anyway, is big data, all the data we are collecting now, but man, all the years of data that we haven't captured yet, to add that together. What are some of the innovations you're seeing coming in software like yours?
Yeah, as we think about innovation, certainly on the side, there are a lot of different people doing, I would say, very innovative things in oil and gas. Our focus is very specific on the document side. So as people think about an AI, there are people doing really cool stuff, in terms of drilling or how to optimize around those sort of operations. Our focus is on the text, right, on the documents themselves, and really improving that process and infusing the AI in such a way, again, stressing the point, it does not replace the person, but it takes the intelligence that the AI can bring forth and infuses that person with a knowledge, really, that allows them to be much more proactive in terms of how they manage an asset, and takes your landman or land administration person or somebody that works in contracts and pipeline or whatever it may be, and allows them to be much more forward-thinking in their organization and add just tremendously more value than perhaps they could in the past.
I have a friend with pretty much his whole attic filled with old well logs. Should I have him bring them to you?
So well logs, not our thing. Well logs specifically. I mean, I'll be honest with you.
Next.
Yeah, next.
That's your next thing you have to do now. We need help.
Yeah, we'll see. But our focus right now is, you think about courthouse records and sort of their, not just public records, but also private records as well, like leases, assignments, operating agreements. On the midstream side, G&P. These are things, along with many others, that we deal with in an extraordinarily powerful way. So those are the problems we solve, and they really, interestingly, they span outside of land, and they really start to touch other areas of the business in a really cool way. So it's a hard problem, honestly, in oil and gas. It's something we've spent a lot of time, energy, and resources on, and I think it's something we do pretty well, and it's a lot of fun too. And it's fun to work with folks in oil and gas, because they appreciate, this has been a challenge for years.
We like to adopt amazing technology, and it looks like you have some, so I hope everybody reaches out to you. How do they do that? What's your website?
Yeah, if you go to ThoughtTrace.com, you can find us there. Easy to request a demo or get in touch with somebody on our side, and really see what the software can do. You can see it with your documents too. This is not a imagined thing where it takes us a month to train up an AI or anything like that. When we have people that sign up and they want to see a demo or they want to see proof of concept of the software, you can bring 10 or 100 or 1,000 leases or assignments, whatever. We will do it right there, and the results work. It legitimately works, and you see that across our customer base from very small customers up to super majors, which is indicative of the folks that we work with today.
There's no competitors out there. Just call ThoughtTrace right now and get a hold of them, get signed up. Hey, thank you for what you do. I really appreciate you being on the podcast. This is the Crude Life. Take care. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.